Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you all devotees and welcome for today's our daily divine discussions, Srimad Bhagavatam class. We'll start with prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namne Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurutashe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishna Bhaktarupasvarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Jaitam Surato Mama Mandamatirigati Matsarvasya Padamboja Radha Madan Mohan Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Panghum Langayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Mishwaram Dhire Gurum Deenatarinam Hare Krishna. So does anyone have any realization in Krishna consciousness? You have some realization? You can share some realization that you have, if you have any. Yes, this was a question. I think you're all meditating on your realizations. Yeah. So there was one devotee who said, I have only one realization, that I don't have any realization. Yes, none more. Go ahead.
So I feel the biggest realization is now I have a purpose. I have something to look forward to every day. It's not a short term, it's a long term goal.
Yes,
That's
very amazing. I have a purpose. And there are two kinds of purposes in this world. One is called Shreyas, one is called Prayas. Prayas means temporary goals, sense gratification. That's called Prayas. And Shreyas means a long-term goal. And that gives a sense of fulfillment, meaning, and the real sense of purpose. Nice. Thank you, Nandamani Mataji. Our Anupam going through saying, Krishna is God. This is my realization. Wonderful. Krishna is God. Jai. And then uh, this one more devotee asked, and this is long back, very long back. I asked Prabhu, you have spent almost something like 15 years in Krishna consciousness, 10 years in the Brahmacharya ashram. What is your realization? And he said, I got two realizations. One, I'm not this body. And second, I have a mind. So I told him, you have intelligence also. Buddhi bhi hai. That's nice. So it's very, very important that we, Prabhupada would many times say, I'll just show you something from Prabhupada. So Prabhupada would say this many times, and this is something which will inspire you as well. There's a quote from Prabhupada that I encountered during my study and reading of Prabhupada's books. Yes. And I've given it the title for myself as Write Your Realizations. So this is Prabhupada's lecture on Brahma Samhita, 5th chapter, 32nd verse, given on August 14, 1972, LA. Brahma is the first living creature appeared in this universe, and after his realization, he is offering prayer. Realization means you should write. Every one of you. What is your realization? What for this back to God it is? You write your realization. What you have realized about Krishna. That is required. It is not passive. Always you should be active. Whenever you find time, you write. Never mind, 2 lines, 4 lines, but you write your realization. Shravanam Kirtanam, writing or offering prayers, glories. This is one of the functions of a Vaishnava. You are hearing, but you have to write also. Then, write means smarana, remembering what you have heard from your spiritual master, from the scripture. Nice, right? It's good. So this way we need to write our realization. So today, right now, where we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam discussion, is we are at the first canto, second chapter, verse number 3. Nice verse. 1, 2, 3. This is very special. This will come only once. 1, 2, 3. The first canto, second chapter, third verse. And last time we had seen that how Sutta Goswami started off with not directly answering the questions, but offering prayers to his spiritual master. And this is his prayers to the spiritual master continue. Because he decided, I have many spiritual masters who have instructed me in various Puranas. My father is one of the spiritual masters. But now, since these 6 questions are asked, these 6 questions, now I need to pull out the Srimad Bhagavatam. Now is the time I need to release Bhagavatam. And if I have to release Bhagavatam, I need to take blessings of Srila Shukadeva Goswami. So let me do that. This is a beautiful shloka, just like last time. Yasvanubhavam akila shruti saramekam adhyatmadipam atititirshatam tamondam samsarinam karunayaha purana guhyam tam vyasasunam payami gurum muninam. Yes. So here, how is Shukadeva Goswami uh, recognized? See, it's a beautiful verse. Yaha, that personality, swa, his anubhavam. So this swanubhavam is called as realization. So what is Sutta Goswami indicating? He's telling them clearly that I'm going to speak something which I've heard from Shukadeva Goswami. Right? I'm going to be speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, which I've heard from Shukadeva Goswami, and Shukadeva Goswami is a realized soul. He's realized his truth and then spoken it. Even Krishna talks a lot about hearing from realized souls, right? He talks about in the Bhagavad Gita, Tadviddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnananas tattvadarshina. A tattvadarshi is a realized soul, right? So it's very important we hear from realized souls. What has he realized? What has he realized? That's also important, right? What have you realized? You have realized many things. But what is it that is your realization? What kind of realization we are interested in? Do materialistic people also have realization? Yeah, they have. Why not? With experience, you get realization. But what kind of realization are you talking about? That is more important. We are talking about realization, which is Akhila Shruti Saram Ekam. Yes. He has got the one and only, Ekam means the one and only all-round realization, which is the essence of all the scriptures. Wow. And this is one of the questions that they asked. He was the essence of all scriptures. Oh, but here's a personality, Shukadeva, who has realized the essence of all scriptures. That is his realization. Yes. And what can be his realizations be compared to? What is the analogy for comparing his realizations? His realizations are compared to a lamp. Not a lamp of fire, but a lamp of spirituality. A spiritual lamp. Adhyatma Deepam. Prabhupada translates as torchlight because that's what today's modern day people understand. Nobody roams with lamps. Even we devotees, lamps, when we put lamp we offer Namam Ishwaram Sach. That is the only time we get lamps. Otherwise, other times we also have torch, lights. So nowadays there is mobile torch. Yesterday we were having one kirtan. We were having this beautiful kirtan night. So the final kirtans, I requested everyone, now please turn off all lights and everybody remove their mobile phones and switch on their lights. And mobile light kirtans. We don't have the deepam, mobile light kirtans. Adhyatma deepam. Atitir shatam tamotam. Yes, and that kind of deepa is able to dispel the darkness, which blinding darkness. If everything is dark, it's something that blinds you, right? So that will help you. Aditi shatam. You can cross over. You can cross over this darkness with that torchlight. And thus, he doesn't just have realizations, he also has one more quality. Yes, what is the quality? Karunaya, his compassion. Yes, causeless mercy. Samsarinam, and yes, this compassion for every single person in this material existence. To whom does he have compassion to? Samsarinam, the materialistic person. As a result of which, what he has done, he has given the Purana Guhyam, the most confidential, essential uh, part, the confidential Purana. Purana is a supplement to the Vedas. That's what Prabhupada translates. And Guhyam is the very confidential. And what is that? The name is not yet released. This is still the trailer going on. Srimad Bhagavatam, Purana Guhyam, the most confidential part of all the Vedic literatures. Unto such son of Vyasdev, Vyasasunam, yes, Upayami, I am offering my obeisances, who is actually the spiritual master of all the saints and sages. Guru Munina. That is his position. He is Guru of all the Munis. So, in one sense, he's telling is all of our Gurus. We are all Munis, and Rishi sitting here at Naimisharanya is Guru of every one of us. And I'll be happy if the devotees in this room can turn on. Some of them have really turned on the videos, it's very encouraging. The others turn on, it'll be even more encouraging. Right? So, it's not a force, it's a request. All right, so we got the meaning? Yes. Translation. Somebody would like to read the translation? Anyone? Please electronically raise your hand. I'm not able to see. Yes, Yashita.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, yeah. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, Shuka, the spiritual master of all sages, the son of Vyasadeva, who out of his great compassion for those gross materialists who struggle to cross over the darkest regions of material existence, spoke this most confidential supplement to the cream of Vedic knowledge after having personally assimilated it by experience.
Yes, amazing. So this is the part which we like very much. Realization. Okay, thank you. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I don't know if we'll be able to complete it today or tomorrow, but let's just begin. In this prayer, Srila Sutta Goswami practically summarizes the introduction of Bhagavad. That's what. So this particular prayer is the intro of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, we get practically everything. What is Srimad Bhagavatam? Yes, what is Srimad Bhagavatam is the most confidential part of Vedic literature. Okay, what it helps you to do? It helps you to cross over this material existence, the designs. What is it compared to? It's compared to Adhyatma Deepam, a lamp. For whom is it? Samsarinam. Everybody is samsara. All of them are able to cross it. Okay. And what is it? It's actually the Shruti Saramekam. It's the cream of the Vedic literatures. The quintessential cream summary of all the Vedic literatures. And then what kind of speaker is this? Speaker is a realized soul. Okay. Who is the son of Vyasdev. Correct? And he's the guru of all the Munis. So like this, everything is summarized here. The speaker and the subject matter both are summarized. Okay. we need to understand. I'll just explain the concept of what exactly is this Vedanta Sutra. There are Vedas. Vedas are the Shrutis, right? The one which have to be heard. Okay. Now Vedas are huge. They are really vast. And not everybody can study the Vedas. Not everybody can even, understand the Vedas because they're huge. They're vast. Just like, for example, can someone memorize the whole Google? Oh, I will memorize whatever content information is there in the Google. No, nobody does that. Usually, we none of us do that. What we do, if we need something, we ask Google. Similarly, you need something, go to Vedas. Okay, how to perform Karma Kanda? Okay, go to that section, read it, do it. All right, thank you. How exactly to worship this demigod of Prajapatis? Prajapati Puja. Okay, go there, go to that section, do it. Next, what you want. So Vedas are like that. They are desired. Whatever desire you have, that particular desire you take. It's like Google. Okay, I want this. Google. Sometimes we want to go to. I want to go to ISKCON temple. Okay, go to Google Maps. Current location, destination, direction. Go. Vedas are like that. Wherever you want to go, they take you there. Right? But nobody can memorize the whole Google. So whenever we need a reference, we refer and then we're back. We do it. That's how Vedas are. But still, if somebody wants to realize what is the conclusion of Vedas, so the conclusion of Vedas are presented by Vyasdev himself. It's called as Veda means knowledge plus Anta. Vedanta. Anta is the conclusion. Right? Conclusion. What is in the end? What is coming right in the end? That is called as conclusion. Right? So that is Vedanta. And he has presented Vedanta not as a literature, but as formulae. And that's why they're called as Vedanta Sutras. Simple formula. When you're a good student, how many of you have been good students in your school, colleges? Oh, good students are those students who come back and they study whatever portion is taught in the classes. It happens. How many of you are that category? Not me, I'm just okay. Good. Only Saishwari Mataji, nobody else. Thank you. He's a very good student. All right. She's telling no, mistake. He's raising hand. I was not like that. Okay, fine. No problem. You are like that now. For Bhagavatam, you're a good student. All right. So then, if you see, there are some students who, in the end, like most of my category, there is one day before exam. What to do one night before exam? We need something. So just go to that simple book of formula. The formula book and apply the formula, get the result. Techniques. We don't want to study how it's derived and all that. We just go to that formula book and get results. So that is why, in order to encapsulate the entire study of Vedas, they're given in small capsules. These sutras, which are called as Vedanta Sutras. So that it becomes very easy. You can just take. And how many of you, okay, I don't know, log tables, the log tables, Okay, I did mechanical engineering. If you cannot relate to it, it's okay. We used to have something called steam tables, refrigeration tables. Yes, dog tables, dog. Design of gears. So all these things we could carry, you could take. Because the college is convinced that even with all these things, you cannot pass. So it's going to be difficult. So like that, you could take the tables and go. The other branches, the students, they would wonder, hey, these guys are carrying they're carrying books, textbooks. No, these are tables without which you can't solve any problem. So in the age of Kali Yuga, to solve problems, you need the sutra book, the formula book, which is called as Vedanta Sutra. Nice service, not done by Vyasdev. Mindful service. Yes or no? Yeah, it's a beautiful service. But here's the problem. The problem with Vedanta Sutra is it can be speculated. What is the problem? Speculation. So who has all speculated? Speculated as in like I'm telling in good sense also, philosophical speculation. So philosophically, Shankaracharya He commented on Vedas, Vedanta Sutra, and wrote a Sharirika Bhashya. Yes. So he commented on Vedanta Sutra, and his Svad is called as what? Mayavad. Right? Then came Ramanujacharya. He's called Advaitavada. No, don't call it Mayavad. Mayavada Asat Shastram. Shiva said that I'll preach Mayavad, but it's called Advaita. He called it Advaitavada. Ramanujacharya, Vishishtaadvaita. Advaitavad basically talks and tells that there is no difference between Jiva and Paramatma. There's one. Everyone is one. Buddha's is Shunyavad. He rejected the Vedas only. So for the Bauddha philosophy, it is there in Shastra also. Before even Buddha came, there is Bauddha philosophy. It is there in the Vedic literatures. And Bauddha philosophy says there is nothing called soul. There is no soul. That is Bauddha philosophy. Shankara's philosophy is everyone is God. Only thing is you have to realize it. Ramanujacharya says Vishishtatvaita. That means there is similarity between Jiva, Lord, the spiritual master, his entourage, his incarnations. So there is lot of similar. So Vishishtatvaita. There is specific non-difference. Specific non-duality. Madhvacharya comes next. And he propounds Dvaitavad, indicating very clearly the difference between Jiva and Ishvara. Ramanujacharya's philosophy is like this. From the side view, it appears one, but actually it is two. This is called Vishishtadvaita, like this. It appears one. So Shankarites come here, but then after they come close, he shows two, not one, two. Madhvacharya is very clear. This is his philosophy. Right? And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What did he do? He raised both his hands, showed big two, not just small two, big two. And the philosophy, essential philosophy is Achintya, Bheda, Abheda. Achintya Bheda, Abheda, Parvat. So Jiva is simultaneously similar and non-different from the Supreme Lord. Achintya Bheda. Right? So now what happens? So Vedanta Sutra, there are many. What do Mayavadis do? Jnanis and Mayavadis. What do? They take one sutra from Vedanta Sutra and speculate it in their own ways. So that's the only problem with Vedanta Sutra. It is easy, but you can speculate. Yes, you just speculate about it. So what is Prabhupada trying to tell here? That you absolutely no need to speculate because Vyasdev, who wrote Vedas? Vyasdev. Who wrote Vedanta Sutras? Vyasdev. And the same Vyasdev has told how to understand the Vedanta Sutra by expanding on one sutra in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. You got the point? So Srimad Bhagavatam becomes a natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. See, it's a natural supplementary commentary on the Vedanta Sutras. So thus there is no need of speculation. That's what Prabhupada is trying to say. People speculate, not required, because Bhagavatam is there. When do you speculate? You speculate when you don't have knowledge. Correct? If you don't have knowledge, you'll speculate. There was one student of mine who was preaching in one place. And he said, Prabhuji, I kept a debate competition. Yes, but the conclusion never came out. Why? I told them that is because you allowed them to speculate. You did not give them the knowledge. So you are supposed to give the party a material to prepare, especially when they're very newcomers. Right? You give them material to prepare. Take this material, read it, study it, and from the way keeping this as the basis, you prepare. Yes, Prabhuji. So if there is no knowledge, you will speculate. You don't know something, you will speculate. But what do Vaishnavas do? If we don't know something, we inquire. That's the right way. The right way is not speculation. The right way is inquiry. Speculation is done by jnans. If we don't know, fine, we will use our intellect and find out. Vaishnavas, if we don't know, we will inquire from our spiritual masters. That is the Vaishnava. That's the difference between Vaishnavas and jnanis. Okay. The Vedanta Sutras or the Brahma Sutras were compiled by Vyasadeva with a view to present just the cream of Vedic knowledge. Yes, one may ask then if it's speculative, why did he present at all? This is the reason. Because somebody wants just the cream of Vedic knowledge. Just the cream of Vedic knowledge is compared to that cows, right? Sarvo Parishado Gavo Dokta Gopal Nandana. And then ultimately one wants the cream of that knowledge. The cream of the knowledge is presented in Vedanta. That was his purpose. So people can just get the essence. Imagine there is a student, very sincere student. After every Bhagavatam class, the student gives some bullet points. How many of you like to have those bullet points? Very nice. It'll be very easy to remember. So bullet points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5-point summary of today's lecture. Amazing. Only problem is people will stop coming for the class. We'll just see the 5 point. That is Kali Yuga souls. Very lazy. Manda asmanda mateo. As soon as we are getting summary, okay, now no need to come. We just read the summary and be happy. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Yes, we just take the summary. We do that. No, we should hear also. The Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentary on the screen. That's what Prabhupada is trying to explain. Srila Sukadeva Goswami was a thoroughly realized master of the Vedanta Sutra, and consequently, he also personally realized the commentary Srimad Bhagavatam. Wow. This is the point to which we want to reach. It's the pinnacle of spiritual life, where we have realized the Srimad Bhagavatam. We speak what we realize, and usually we can only speak what we have realized. Yes or no? It is very difficult to talk something we have not realized. Somebody is talking something, and that person has realized that subject matter, then that touches the heart. Information doesn't touch the heart. Again, information is something that can be found even in we can go to Google and search, and you can get all information. But what touches the heart? Why do people like to come for certain class? Why do they want to come for certain discussions? Because that is the time they are hearing some realizations, right? So there were a cool group of students, group of devotees. They went to their spiritual master, and they were having a fix. They were having a problem. They were saying, thinking that Maharaj, we want to present you what is the crisis. At this point of time, this is the status of ours. We are at this level of sadhana, this level of seva, this prachar. We are here. Our temple is here. Now, where should we put effort? We can reduce a little bit of devotee programs and take a little bit of, more preaching. We can do that. Maharaj says, don't do that. Don't do that. He said, what is very important after several years of you practicing Krishna consciousness, suppose you become a senior devotee. Maharaj told that is when people or the junior devotees, they are interested to hear your realizations. They are not there for anything else. And that is what touches the heart. So what realizations have you got? So please spend time in properly, nicely reading proper books, listening to the lectures of spiritual master, and also doing practical, meaningful Vaishnava seva, some service to Vaishnavas. You do this, your heart will be full with lot of realization. Yes. And also, devotees, we see those who are following the instructions of Guru get a lot of realizations. So one of the direct instructions of Prabhupada is distributing books. So those of them who go and distribute books, they get a lot of realizations. They are continuously sharing. They can keep sharing. There is this Grace Sanatana Prabhu, one of the top book distributors of ISKCON in the history of ISKCON. Such a person. And I love his classes. It's so amazing. And one of the reasons why I love it so much is because he shares very amazing realizations. And one of the realizations he shares is that whenever he encounters a difficult situation, he actually says that he talks to Krishna, Parama. Krishna, I have whatever bhakti points I have earned. He says, good japa earns you bhakti points. Right? So you chant nicely Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You get one bhakti point. So now I want to use this bhakti point in order to uh, convince this person to take this book. Right? So somehow, Krishna, if I have bhakti points, then I can use it. So bhakti points really help you everywhere. Krishna will definitely oblige and follow whatever you pray. He will definitely answer your prayers provided you have bhakti points. And that's one of his great realizations. So he does very, very attentive japa. Right in the morning, he's doing his japa wonderfully. And then in the daytime, he goes and distributes books, gives knowledge of Krishna consciousness to others, and he uses all his bhakti points. That's what he says. Yes, so it's very amazing to hear some stories. Hare Krishna devotees, I'm back with some realization. You like to hear? So if I'm back with some realization. I'm not just like that. And I'm surprised to see all of you stayed. Well done. Nobody left. Our speaker is gone. Wow, class is finished. Let's go. Okay, the realization is today morning I'm at a particular place of very, they're actually very wealthy. They're young, but I can say the most humble devotees I met, one of the most humble devotees. I'm at their place in Calgary. And these devotees, I came back yesterday from yesterday's Kirtan night, somewhere around, yeah, 11:30, 12. It became late. So these devotees were definitely slept after me, right? And then I did not wake them up. I woke up at my regular time doing my job. I didn't wake them up. And I thought at least one thing I forgot is the Wi-Fi password. And I didn't even have number of these devotees. So I'm calling up other devotees to give number of these devotees. Nobody's up. So I'm totally Krishna cornered me. So no one's picking up. Everyone's tired because of the wonderful dancing that happened yesterday. I'm the only one probably awake in ISKCON Calgary Yatra. Others all are sleeping. And finally, I asked number that what to do. I didn't want to enter their room, right? It won't look good. So nothing, nothing could work out. I can't even enter, knock their door. I don't even know where they are. I just know my room. They have many rooms. So searching their time will go. So I decided finally, let's try from our mobile hotspot. Yes. And the class was going on very well. Nice. And suddenly the class stopped. I see all of your faces were smiling. You stopped like that. You all froze. I was like, what happened? Then I checked. The net is gone. Oh, my data pack is over, I thought. But when I look at the phone is dead. So this is what happens to a preacher who is just preaching, but nudging and getting connected to the Guru Parampara. Hare Krishna. See, I told you I'll come with some realization. So what is very important is our connection. Right. So realizations will keep coming only if we remain connected. Yes, we can remain connected to the parampara, to the process, to our practices. We are connected, then realizations come. Otherwise, what will happen? That's all will happen. Everyone's going to breathe out. Okay. At this point of time, I'd like to pause and hear some reflections, realizations, some questions from all of you devotees. We'll continue this theme tomorrow. You can also tell me, should we have classes on Sunday or not? Because what happens is Sunday, you might have to attend your temple programs. Okay, we'll start with Morini Mataji. She definitely has something to share.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, it's not a realization. I was actually thinking about Srila Prabhupada's Pranami mantra when you were speaking the class. And we say, Namo Vishwadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Prabhu, oh, what is the next part? Sorry, I'm remembering Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj mantra.
Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Prachari.
We say Nirvishesh, we say Shunyavadi, Paschatadhishtani. But how, what is Nirvishesh? I know Shunyavadi is the Buddha philosophy that everything gets zero when we die. What
Yes,
is?
Nirvishesh. Vishesh means what? Vishesh means variety. And Nirvishesh means they negate the variegatedness. So they refer to the Mayavadis.
So when we categorize Mayavadis, Advaitavadis, everybody together, is that how we see the philosophy?
No, he's Tarini. He's the one who delivered these people. Paschat, Western countries. I'm just going to that word to word. It's very nice. Thank you. Even Prabhupada's Pranati mantra is so amazing to study. Many we don't teach them. Okay. Standard prayers. Srila Prabhupada. Pranati. See here. Now you got it here. Thanks to the wonderful creators of Veda Base. 2003 they got this. Namaste. Namate. Actually it is. Namate become Namaste. I offer my obeisances unto you. Saraswati Devi. The servant of Bhakti Siddhanta. Saraswati. Saraswati. servant or even son. That's a Vasudeva Vasudevi Saraswati Devi, Gauravani, the message of Chaitanya, Pracharini, for preaching, Nirvishesh, see, Nirvishesh, impersonalism,
Oh,
Shunyavadi, yes, who is voidism, for this philosophy, Paschata Deshatad, for delivery. So Western countries have this tendency, Nirvishesha and Shunyavadi. So that these tendencies, are filled with impersonalism and voidism, he delivered the Paschata Desh. Okay?
thank you, Prabhu. Next, please.
Thank you. Yes. Vijay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have two questions, one from last week's class and one from today's class. May I ask both questions if time permits?
One I'll take, then we'll go to Shakti Mataji,
Okay.
then two
Next
if
week.
you.
Okay. So I'll ask you next week's class question. Sorry, last week's class question from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.122, where I understood that Shukadeva Goswami was initially a Brahmayani. He was not a Bhakta from birth itself. He was also Sukha, Srimati Radharani's parrot in his previous life, and he heard Srimad Bhagavatam from Lord Shiva. He also got in contact with Lord Sri Krishna while he was in his mother's womb, similar to how Parikshit Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj got associated either with the Lord or the Lord's devotees. But he was a impersonalist when he took birth. So I'm hoping to understand how he, the son of Vyasadeva, who's also a devotee of the Lord, one that elaborates the glories of the Lord, why didn't he have pure love of God from birth itself? Wouldn't he have heard the glorification of the Lord from his father while he was in his mother's womb for 16 years? We understand, like last week you said he was a Vaishnava that doesn't need to go through the reformatory process. But was he an impersonalist or a Vaishnava? I'm getting kind of confused on that.
So Shukadeva Goswami comes in. There are many categories of devotees mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'm not going to get into details. This is explained very nicely. So one category is called a Parishada. Parishada means associates of Lord. And Shukadev comes under this category, associates of Lord. Why? Because he is the parrot of Srimati Radha. But even when such associates come to this material world to do a leela or to perform leela, they start off, yes, their starting point is just like any other sadhaka. They do not directly show symptoms of pure devotional service from the beginning. They come through Vaidhi sadhana bhakti and they rise and then they showcase their real status of devotion. This is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes. Whoever it is, even Narada is also Parishad of Lord Chakravarti. But when he came here, he came as Upabarhana, that Gandharva. Later on, he came as the servant, boy of the servant, maid servant. And then eventually he goes on to become what? The Narada Muni that we see today. So everybody has to go through this cycle. So similarly, Shukadeva also. See, others, all others, they start with Ajnan. They start from point zero. Om Ajnana Timiranda Sivisena, zero. And then they slowly rise to it. But Shukadeva was special. He started with the platform of being Brahman realized. He was already Brahman realized at his birth. That was his speciality. He was Brahman realized at his birth only, not in ignorance. But he was not Mayavadi. Mayavadis are those who says Krishna's name, fame, qualities, pastime is all Maya. It's Maya. But Brahmavadis are those who are progressive. Yes, they have realized this much. Now, next is Paramatma realizations. Next is Bharat. So they are progress. They are on the way. They don't say this is all in all and Krishna is Maya. No, they say we are here and this is our goal. So Shukadev, we look at the four Kumaras, they were all at this platform. They were not Mayavadis. I hope that clarifies.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you. Grace Shakti Mataji. At this particular point of time, I would like to say that okay, technically the time is up. Those who wish to stay can stay. Others can attend the question answers. Yes.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yes.
So what I'm taking from this, from Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 3, Because it does say that he is twice born. So he was born, and then it says that he takes birth again. Here undergo such purificatory ceremonies because he was liberated soul. He was a liberated soul from birth.
Yes.
But he's generally a man's an ordinary being, but he is born for the second time. And then he gets new light, and then he gets the thread, and he becomes twice born or divya.
The twice born are indicated, who are indicated in this verse are the sages who are listening, the audience. They were all twice born. They had a spiritual master.
Right. Well, it says
Getting
here,
into
it does say that after that, Srila Sukha Goswami was a Vaishnava from the beginning, and he does get a spiritual master.
Yeah, yes. Vasudev is the spiritual master.
Yeah,
His own father.
100%. But the twice born is it just a like
Twice born is indicating to the audience who are there, the Shaunakadi rishis. So the Goswami is addressing them as twice born. The sage is the audience.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you,
Thanks.
Prabhuji.
Palak?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, thank you so much for explaining all the theories. I think I've never heard them in such a structured format. A question that I have is, just like we know that Buddha was an incarnation of Krishna, right? And that was the philosophy that was needed at that time. That's why that incarnation took place. So, is it possible that those other philosophies were possibly the requirement of that time, and that's why Krishna incarnated like that? And second,
One at a time.
yeah,
I'll
okay,
just
okay,
answer
okay,
one.
okay, okay.
Or you have this is connected. The second one is connected.
It's kind of connected. So I'll just say,
Go
if you think it's not
Then
connected,
don't call
don't
it
answer it, okay? Yeah, okay.
adding.
So the second thing is,
Okay, no.
all of these
Okay,
are all of everybody who gave these theories, I believe they were realized. So if they were realized, is there any truth to their realization that they end up in that zone? For example, we say people who believe in Brahma Jyoti end up there. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So one thing is we need to understand this fact is these all theories, yes, have always existed. And these theories also, now if you see, there are 6 systems of philosophy. Now, who gave this? These philosophies are there. The Bauddha philosophy is there right in the Vedas. Similarly, these are all 6 systems of philosophy. There is yoga, nyaya, vaisheshika, mimamsa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Vaisheshika, mimamsa. The ultimate one is Vedanta. The conclusion. I'm just missing one name. Anyone knows? Sankhya. Yeah. Now, these are all 6 systems of philosophy. Got it? 6 systems of philosophy. Now, there is an acharya for each. There's a Muni who has propounded this philosophy very heavily or in a very amazing manner. Right? Yoga, Patanjali. So, like that, there are names. Imam says Jaimini, Sankhya is Kapila, like that. So, everybody has propounded one. Gautam is Nyaya. Vedanta is all these personalities. Shankara, as we saw that. We saw that. Yes. So, these are all the acharyas who have formed. If you look at even any kind of atheism or deviation, Vedanta is the pure philosophy. Any kind of deviation that we see is having the roots from this philosophy, which are also given in Shastras. You're getting it right. Like, for example, the Buddhist philosophy, they have a tinge of Mimamsa, which means, like, if you see the Buddhist philosophy as Jataka stories, there's Siddhartha, Devadatta, Trishala, 3 personalities. The protagonist, antagonist, and the energy. These three people. So they take different births. Jataka tales. Jatakam itself means the birth. So they perform certain karma and they take certain bodies and they do certain leelas, and then ultimately there is nothing, voidness. When you have, so this particular philosophy says that karma is superior even to Bhagwan. So they have tinges from here, taken from here. Sankhya philosophy says Prakriti is superior. Got it? No? So every philosophy has one aspect. Vaisheshika philosophy says atom is superior. It says logic is superior. Yoga philosophy talks about, yeah, this is a little bit, yoga is very close to Veda. But that also may have some speculative ideas of becoming one with Lord. Got it right? So what do we understand from here is that ultimately all these things have their roots, but when this is disconnected from the, so just like we have Bhagavad Gita as Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Now why is Bhakti kept in center? Because Karma and Jnana need to be in contact with Bhakti. Else, these two can become atheistic theories. Similarly, when these philosophies lose their contact from Vedanta, they become atheistic theories. So any philosophy which is there in the Vedas, but it loses contact from the Vedanta, it becomes an atheistic philosophy. Where is darkness? When there is no light. Similarly, when there is no God in picture, that's an atheistic philosophy. Vedanta's conclusion is given in Bhagavad Gita, Vedishcha sarve rahmaya vedya. It's to know Krishna, but when we remove that Krishna, is it okay? Okay, nice. I'll take, yes, Shruti Mata.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept
Hare
my
Krishna.
humble obeisances. Prabhuji, I had a general question. So in Bhagavatam, why is Radharani not mentioned anywhere?
She's mentioned. She's mentioned. Anaya
By her
Aradhito.
name, it is not given.
Her root of her name is even Aradhana. That's her name actually. Aradhita. Aradhana. The name is not mentioned because Shukadeva Goswami is the servant of Srimati Radharani. The
Yeah.
servant doesn't take directly the name of her his mistress. Number one. Number two, he is such a pure devotee of Radharani that if he says Radha once, he will go into so much of ecstasy and he will faint. And if he faints off, what will happen? Parikshit Maharaj will not get Bhagavatam. So he was controlling himself from speaking the name of Radharani.
Okay.
Right? Parikshit Maharaj, he goes into ecstasy for days together. And poor Parikshit has only 7 days left. Right? Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And that's the third reason is very the confidentiality. But it's not that Radharani is not mentioned. Padma Puran mentions Devi Krishna Mai Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sarva Kanti Samohini Para. She is the Sarva Lakshmi Mai. She is all Sarva Lakshmi, the source of all the Lakshmis. She is the source of all
Yeah,
energies.
in other scriptures it's mentioned, but in Bhagavatam, even in the even in the cantos, so
It's
when
hinted.
the description is given, name is not mentioned anywhere. Like it's mentioned Chief Gopi and everything.
Anaya
But
Aradhita Go. Oh, no, she was another that special gopi. She is mentioned specially. Out of all the gopi leads, among all the Leelas of Krishna, Vrindavan Leela is confidential. Among Vrindavan Leela, Leela with gopis is confidential. Among even those gopis, the Leela with her is very confidential. That is recognized in the Bhagavad. Okay,
okay.
thank you. Your second question. Last question for today.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So my second question was, you were mentioning the various sampradayams and Ramanuja Acharya, he's from the Sri Sampradayam. It's one of the 4 bona fide Vaishnava Sampradayam. Why do they have a different understanding of the connection between Jiva and Ishvara from our Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sampradayam? If they're they are an authentic Sampradayam that comes down from our Supreme Lord, they understand that. So why is their philosophy different? I wanted to understand that.
To gradually elevate the understanding of public. Shunyavad, from zero, ground floor, you go to first floor to second floor. But even while climbing to second is not 1 to 2 is not easy. Then you come to 2. and then Victor. So all these acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given a very wonderful book for Moses to Mahaprabhu. He's written Moses to Mahaprabhu. There he systematically explains why each of these. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had given his darshan to Ramanujacharya in his dream, and Ramanujacharya was telling, I'm going to go and tell this to all my followers. Mahaprabhu says, please wait, I'm coming ahead first. I'll come almost somewhere around another 400 years later. I'm going to come in. It's not your job, it's my job. Okay. So you systematically elevate the understanding. That's the purpose. Thank you. Hope it's the same for you. Being alone, the only person in Calgary, it seems like that. So thank you all so much. Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. समस्त गौर भक्तवृंद की जय. Radhanath Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Hare Hare. So we'll continue this verse. Hare Krishna.